What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. It's been a while since I've put something up on the web. It's been a busy past couple months, and I'm finally starting to settle down. So yeah, I figured I'd do a couple of little videos. I've got BC coming down the pipes. Hopefully we'll have that out in the next couple of weeks. And yeah, I figured I'd start off with a little at-home video just to kind of break off the rust. Today we're gonna do the how to weld a fly line loop. So what I'm talking about is these things. Fly line loops. In the past, I've usually tied on, if I break off or something happens and I've got to jimmy rig it, I usually just tie a nail knot with a loop on the end of it with like fluoro or mono or whatever. But to save the frustrations of that extra knot bouncing through your guides, we can just weld the loop back on. So I'm going to show you guys how to do that today. I just got a heat gun and some proper shrink wrap a week ago, so I've been messing around with it a bunch and practicing and burning all sorts of my old fly lines. So okay, so we'll start off with the size of the tubing that you're gonna need. So for starters, you're gonna need clear shrink wrap. I've tried it with non-clear. It is such a hit and miss process. I mean, it's doable. I mean, you'll get a weld, but it'll be ugly. You'll probably burn your line and it'll crack within a couple of days in the cold. And the size that you are gonna wanna get is the size 3/16, which is this size right here. It's kind of perfect for your 6 weight and up fly lines. That's gonna do it there. I bought this smaller tubing because I thought this was kind of what was suggested on one of the forums that I read, but it's a little too small. I mean, if you're doing like 3 weight lines or something, it might work, but it's a little too small. So the two sizes I would suggest for your shrink wrap are your 3/16 and your 1/8 inch shrink tubing. And then you're also gonna need a heat gun. This heat gun is decently affordable. I think it's like 40-50 bucks. Me and my brother bought it because he uses some stuff for cars and I can play with fly lines with it. So, and this one has 2 settings. It's got a low set or a high setting, which is 500 degrees Celsius, and then there's a low setting, which is 300 degrees Celsius. I'm gonna only use the 300 degrees Celsius, and that's already kind of pushing it, but it does a decent weld that I found. But yeah, that's kind of what you need. You got your shrink wrap, your heat gun, and some fly line. I've got some old scrap fly line here that I'm gonna mess around with, so I don't have to janky up fly line that I actually need. In terms of fly lines that you can weld, I haven't had any issues yet. I've got Scientific Anglers, a Rio, and a Beulah, an old Beulah line. I think that's the 3 that I've got, and they've all welded pretty good. The smaller lines are a little bit tougher to weld, but you just got to be a little more delicate with it. So yeah, let's jump right into it. I usually take out about 1.5 inches, usually sufficient. You want a decent weld. You don't want it crazy long, but I mean, like, if your weld comes out to like 1.5 inches, it's not a bad thing. It's just extra weld. Slide the line through the tubing. So then once your line's through, slide it back through. That's what you're left with. And then let's see if this works. So what you're seeing there is the 2 fly lines that have yet to be fused. What's gonna happen is right that crevasse there, you're gonna see it fill in and kind of turn into one pretty much all the way throughout. And you're also gonna try to weld down that bit end. In a perfect world, let's see how it goes. We're gonna turn it on to our 300 setting, let it warm up. You want to hold it just high enough that it's not going to burn, and if you kind of see it getting really soft and supple, you kind of bring it off for a second. But see how that one side's already starting to melt together? That's kind of what you're looking for. That butt end is kind of morphing into one. You got to be careful of the tail end too. You don't burn that while you're doing the front end. Kind of melting nice there. That's pretty much it. And then the final process is, once you snipped it, it'll kind of just peel right off. And there is what you're left with. decent weld. There is your welded loop. Hope you guys enjoyed that. If you guys have any more questions, let me know in the comments down below. I'll try to answer it as best I can. Yeah, like I said, BC video is going to be dropping the next couple of weeks. Got some good action on some stillwater ponds, as well as some bull trout and some cutties. So hopefully we can have some fun with that. You guys will enjoy that, and catch you guys in the next clip. Thanks for watching.